Krisis iklim sudah di depan mata, mengancam kehidupan, lingkungan, dan perekonomian kita semua. Indonesia menunjukkan komitmennya terhadap penanggulangan iklim melalui ratifikasi Paris Agreement dalam Undang-Undang Nomor 16 Tahun 2016 dan upaya aktif menurunkan emisi karbon sebagai bagian dari agenda keberlanjutan nasional dan global. Sebagai presidensi G20 pada tahun 2022, Indonesia juga mendorong G20 Bali Declaration yang mendukung finalisasi ISSB Standards untuk pelaporan keberlanjutan global. Standar ini telah didukung oleh IOSCO, G20, ACMF, dan organisasi internasional lainnya, serta 26 negara telah berkomitmen untuk menerapkannya. Komitmen terhadap isu keberlanjutan ini membutuhkan pendanaan besar dari investor yang semakin menuntut transparansi. Mengintegrasikan informasi keberlanjutan dan laporan keuangan kini menjadi kebutuhan utama bagi pasar modal, pendanaan internasional, dan perdagangan global. Selama lebih dari 50 tahun, IAI telah menjadi pemimpin dalam penyusunan standar akuntansi di Indonesia. Sejak 2020, IAI mengambil langkah proaktif dalam membangun infrastruktur pelaporan keberlanjutan melalui pembentukan Task Force Comprehensive Corporate Reporting yang diikuti dengan pembentukan Dewan Pemantau Standar Keberlanjutan dan Dewan Standar Keberlanjutan untuk memastikan tata kelola yang kuat. Saat ini, IAI sedang menyiapkan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan yang merujuk pada ISSB Standards, melengkapi laporan keuangan dan menjawab kebutuhan pengungkapan keberlanjutan yang semakin mendesak. Penerapan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan tidak dapat hanya sebatas penyusunan standar. Namun, penerapan standar tersebut memerlukan ekosistem laporan keberlanjutan yang memadai. Strategi penerapan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan yang terarah dan komprehensif sangat penting karena standar tersebut merupakan inisiatif baru di Indonesia. Dalam peta jalan ini, IAI memuat strategi penerapan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan sebagai berikut. 1. Tingkat kesesuaian standar. Hal ini untuk memastikan ketentuan standar sesuai dengan tingkat kesiapan perusahaan dan praktik laporan keberlanjutan. Kedua, tanggal efektif standar. Hal ini untuk memastikan perusahaan memiliki waktu yang cukup untuk menerapkan standar. Usulan aktivitas penguatan ekosistem laporan keberlanjutan di Indonesia diantaranya adalah 1. Regulasi penggunaan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan. 2. Assurance laporan keberlanjutan. 3. Infrastruktur pendukung terkait. 4. Pengembangan kompetensi. Dan 5. Penyusunan standar. Peta jalan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan menandai langkah awal menuju ekosistem pelaporan keberlanjutan yang kuat. Peta jalan ini akan memandu bisnis, regulator, dan pemangku kepentingan untuk mencapai pengungkapan keberlanjutan berkualitas tinggi yang selaras secara global.
Selamat datang di aplikasi IAI Lounge. Melalui aplikasi ini, Anda dapat mendaftarkan diri Anda untuk mengikuti berbagai kegiatan training, membaca SAK online, dan juga memonitor kegiatan PPL yang pernah Anda ikuti. Download aplikasi IAI Lounge di App Store atau Google Play Store. Untuk anggota IAI, silakan login menggunakan email @akuntanindonesia. Sedangkan untuk non-anggota, login menggunakan alamat email yang telah Anda daftarkan sebelumnya. Pada halaman home, terdapat berbagai menu untuk dapat dinikmati. Cek section lounge untuk melihat event IAI, SAK online, CAW Network, dan affiliated campus. Untuk cek jadwal pelatihan dan event terkini, klik menu event. Scroll untuk melihat berbagai kegiatan dan event yang dilaksanakan oleh IAI, seperti seminar, pelatihan, serta workshop. Apabila Anda telah melakukan proses pendaftaran dan telah menyelesaikan proses administrasi, silakan cek list event yang akan Anda ikuti pada menu My Event. Selanjutnya, Anda dapat membaca SAK secara online. Klik menu SAK online untuk langsung terhubung dengan aplikasi SAK online. Gratis untuk anggota IAI. Untuk non-anggota, silakan mendaftar untuk berlangganan. Pada menu Home, terdapat juga section keanggotaan untuk mencari informasi terkini tentang keanggotaan IAI dan ASEAN CPA. Nikmati kemudahan mengakses data akuntan profesional pemegang CA, ASEAN CPA, dan akuntan berpraktik. Selanjutnya, pada section KJA, terdapat menu Find KJA untuk mencari kantor jasa akuntan terdekat di sekitar Anda. Terdapat juga menu materi KJA untuk memperkaya pengetahuan dan kompetensi Anda. Section KJA akan memudahkan Anda untuk mendapatkan informasi lengkap dan terkini seputar kantor jasa akuntan. Terakhir, tepatnya di bagian bawah, terdapat menu berita dan publikasi yang akan mengupdate Anda dengan informasi terkini terkait perkembangan profesi akuntansi baik nasional maupun internasional. Dan pastinya mengenai SAK Update. Selamat menikmati aplikasi IAI Lounge, available on App Store and Google Play Store. Journey to be a professional accountant is just one click away.
Hai, kamu nggak ngerti pajak? Mau belajar pajak yang fun dan isinya daging semua? Sini ikut aku, IAI punya pelatihannya. Jadi, nanti di kelas kalian akan diajarin berbagai hal mengenai pajak, dari yang basic sampai yang kompleks. Para pengajarnya juga keren-keren banget kok. Mereka adalah praktisi dan konsultan pajak yang berkompeten. Terus, pilihan kelasnya juga banyak banget. Selain menyelenggarakan kelas tatap muka di IAI Knowledge Center, IAI juga menyelenggarakan kelas brevet secara online. Jadi, kalian bisa menyesuaikan kelas mana yang cocok dengan agenda kalian. Untuk menjamin modul yang selalu relevan, IAI memiliki MOU dan kerjasama dengan DJP. Sehingga kalian nggak perlu khawatir, udah pasti modul brevet IAI selalu update dengan undang-undang dan peraturan yang berlaku saat ini. IAI juga sudah meluluskan ribuan alumni brevet dari IAI Knowledge Center di seluruh Indonesia.
Dulu, ngitung pajak tuh rasanya susah banget. Bersyukur ketemu pelatihan pajak yang keren kayak di IAI. Jadi, jangan biarkan masalah pajak menghambat bisnis kalian.
Tunggu apa lagi? Buruan ikut pelatihan brevet IAI. Untuk daftar dan informasi selanjutnya, klik link berikut ya. Yuk buruan kita daftar.
Didirikan untuk membimbing dan mempertinggi mutu pendidikan akuntansi dan mempertinggi mutu pekerjaan akuntan. Sejak itu, IAI berkembang menjadi organisasi profesi akuntan yang turut mewarnai sejarah perekonomian Indonesia. Inisiasi penting selanjutnya adalah ketika IAI mengambil tanggung jawab menjadi standar setter untuk mendukung pasar modal dan dunia investasi Indonesia. IAI menerbitkan prinsip akuntansi Indonesia (PAI) dan norma pemeriksaan akuntan NPA. PAI nantinya berkembang menjadi standar akuntansi keuangan (SAK). IAI terus tumbuh menjadi pengawal transparansi dan akuntabilitas perekonomian Indonesia. Dalam dinamika global, IAI menjadi pendiri dan anggota IFAC, pendiri dan anggota ASEAN Federation of Accountant (AFA), serta Associate Member Chartered Accountant Worldwide (CAW). Di masa kini, tidak bisa dibantahkan, IAI berperan di hampir semua sektor perekonomian. DPN periode 2022-2026 akan meneruskan estafet kepemimpinan profesi menuju IAI bersatu bersama menciptakan peluang meraih kesuksesan. Melalui rencana strategis IAI periode 2022-2026, IAI tumbuh, kuat, dan berkelanjutan. Rencana strategi IAI terdiri dari 4 pilar. Pilar 1, memperkuat transformasi profesi akuntansi melalui peningkatan kuantitas dan kualitas akuntan Indonesia yang memiliki kompetensi, kredibilitas, serta mematuhi regulasi, kode etik, dan standar profesi. Pilar 2, meningkatkan kepercayaan publik kepada profesi akuntansi sebagai pemimpin dalam pengembangan ekosistem keuangan dan keberlanjutan. Pilar 3, memperkuat perlindungan hukum dan praktik keprofesian akuntan di berbagai sektor di era keberlanjutan. Pilar 4, meningkatkan tata kelola organisasi IAI dan memperluas kerjasama dengan pemangku kepentingan profesi akuntansi. IAI siap mengawal perekonomian Indonesia menuju Sustainable Development Goals. IAI tumbuh, kuat, dan berkelanjutan.
Krisis iklim sudah di depan mata, mengancam kehidupan, lingkungan, dan perekonomian kita semua. Indonesia menunjukkan komitmennya terhadap penanggulangan iklim melalui ratifikasi Paris Agreement dalam Undang-Undang Nomor 16 Tahun 2016 dan upaya aktif menurunkan emisi karbon sebagai bagian dari agenda keberlanjutan nasional dan global. Sebagai presidensi G20 pada tahun 2022, Indonesia juga mendorong G20 Bali Declaration yang mendukung finalisasi ISSB Standards untuk pelaporan keberlanjutan global. Standar ini telah didukung oleh IOSCO, G20, ACMF, dan organisasi internasional lainnya, serta 26 negara telah berkomitmen untuk menerapkannya. Komitmen terhadap isu keberlanjutan ini membutuhkan pendanaan besar dari investor yang semakin menuntut transparansi. Mengintegrasikan informasi keberlanjutan dan laporan keuangan kini menjadi kebutuhan utama bagi pasar modal, pendanaan internasional, dan perdagangan global. Selama lebih dari 50 tahun, IAI telah menjadi pemimpin dalam penyusunan standar akuntansi di Indonesia. Sejak 2020, IAI mengambil langkah proaktif dalam membangun infrastruktur pelaporan keberlanjutan melalui pembentukan Task Force Comprehensive Corporate Reporting yang diikuti dengan pembentukan Dewan Pemantau Standar Keberlanjutan dan Dewan Standar Keberlanjutan untuk memastikan tata kelola yang kuat. Saat ini, IAI sedang menyiapkan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan yang merujuk pada ISSB Standards, melengkapi laporan keuangan dan menjawab kebutuhan pengungkapan keberlanjutan yang semakin mendesak. Penerapan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan tidak dapat hanya sebatas penyusunan standar. Namun, penerapan standar tersebut memerlukan ekosistem laporan keberlanjutan yang memadai. Strategi penerapan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan yang terarah dan komprehensif sangat penting karena standar tersebut merupakan inisiatif baru di Indonesia. Dalam peta jalan ini, IAI memuat strategi penerapan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan sebagai berikut. 1. Tingkat kesesuaian standar. Hal ini untuk memastikan ketentuan standar sesuai dengan tingkat kesiapan perusahaan dan praktik laporan keberlanjutan. Kedua, tanggal efektif standar. Hal ini untuk memastikan perusahaan memiliki waktu yang cukup untuk menerapkan standar. Usulan aktivitas penguatan ekosistem laporan keberlanjutan di Indonesia diantaranya adalah 1. Regulasi penggunaan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan. 2. Assurance laporan keberlanjutan. 3. Infrastruktur pendukung terkait. 4. Pengembangan kompetensi. Dan 5. Penyusunan standar. Peta jalan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan menandai langkah awal menuju ekosistem pelaporan keberlanjutan yang kuat. Peta jalan ini akan memandu bisnis, regulator, dan pemangku kepentingan untuk mencapai pengungkapan keberlanjutan berkualitas tinggi yang selaras secara global.
gerakmu, hadirkan semangatmu, hatimu dan mimpimu, satukanlah dalam asamu. Tunjukkan baktimu, kuatkan imanmu, raihlah prestasimu. Satukan tujuan, siapkan masa depan, jaga akuntabilitas. IAI mengabdi, bersatu dan berbakti untuk Ibu Pertiwi. Selalu berkarya dan jaga integritas Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia. Gerakmu, hadirkan semangatmu, hatimu dan mimpimu, satukanlah dalam asamu. Tunjukkan baktimu, kuatkan imanmu, raihlah prestasimu. Satukan tujuan, siapkan masa depan, jaga akuntabilitas. IAI mengabdi, bersatu dan berbakti untuk Ibu Pertiwi. Selalu berkarya dan jaga integritas Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia. Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the IAI and CIMA joint webinar, Resilient Business Models Thriving in Uncertainty Through Agile Innovation. My name is Monica Nabilia, and I'll be your MC for today's session. I would like to greet our honorable guests, Ibu Selvia Vivi Devianti and Bapak Denny Purhadianto, IAI Council Member, Mr. Charity Viti, Advisory Member, Digital Technology Committee of Malaysian Institute of Accountants, who also our speaker for today. Ibu Elizarni Husin, IAI Executive Director. Bapak Dwi Putra Widianto, Country Manager of Indonesia, CIMA. Bapak Edward Tanujaya, AFA Executive Director. Bapak Januarto Alamsyah, Director of Knowledge Center IAI. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, to open this webinar, let us hear the opening remarks from Ibu Selvia Vivi Devianti, IAI Council Member. To Ibu Selvia Vivi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Monica. Honorable Mr. Charity Viti, Advisory Member, Digital Technology Committee from Malaysia Institute of Accountants, Mr. Dwi Putra Widianto, CIMA Country Manager Indonesia, Ms. Elizarni Husin, IAI Executive Director, Mr. Januarto Alamsyah, IAI Knowledge Center Director, Mr. Edward Tanujaya, ASEAN Federation of Accountants Executive Director, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, may peace be upon us all. It is an honor to speak at this important webinar on resilient business models thriving in uncertainty through agile innovation. As we all know today, fast-changing global economy, businesses are facing unprecedented challenges from rapid technological advancement to economic uncertainty and evolving regulation. This disruption demands that organizations rethink their traditional business model and embrace adaptability, innovation, and agility to stay competitive. This webinar is a part of implementation of Memorandum of Understanding between ACPA CIMA and IAI. This MOU has been renewed last year to underscore our mutual commitment to advance the accounting profession and reinforce our shared vision of a more sustainable future. So together, we are not only setting standards, but also paving the way for innovation and growth within our field. This MOU is also intended to continue the ICPA, CIMA, and IAI pathway, which namely the CIMA IAI Strategic Leaders Program, to enable certified accountant Indonesia holders to gain the ICPA CIMA professional qualification by sitting only the CIMA Strategic Case Study exam, to collaborate on CIMA IAI joint research, for example, on the CFO competency framework, and many more collaboration in the future. The collaboration between IAI and ICPA CIMA is very strategic, considering that both institutions are part of the Global Accountant Organization, namely the International Federation of Accountants, or IFAC. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a finance professional, we play a critical role in shaping resilient organization. Chartered accountants in particular are not just financial stewards. Just like the tagline behind my background, CA is a difference maker. So what we do and what we talk is more beyond just number. We are a strategic and trusted advisor who must integrate agile financial practices to safeguard our organization against uncertainty. Today, financial strategy is no longer just about compliance and risk management. It is about navigating volatility and seizing new opportunity. So this webinar will explore how businesses can develop models that not only withstand crisis, but also leverage them for growth. We will discuss the key principles of resilience and agility, how to align financial strategy with agile practices, and real-world example of businesses that have successfully transformed their traditional models into various innovative ways. Most importantly, we will provide practical framework to embed agility into financial management and decision-making processes. As we move forward, the ability to anticipate and adapt will determine success in this volatile landscape. So let us use this opportunity to learn, collaborate, and drive change within our organization and industry. I encourage all of you to actively engage in today's discussion, exchange idea. I think that's the most important quality as an accountant. Exchange ideas and take away valuable insight that will help you navigate the future with confidence. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your participation, and I wish you a productive and insightful webinar. Thank you again. May God bless us all. Thank you. I give
Thank
it back.
you, Ibu Selvia Vivi Devianti, for your remarks. Now, I would like to invite you for a group picture. Now, could you please, Bapak Chari, Bapak Dwi, Bapak Toto, Bapak Edward, Bapak Denny, to open your camera and joining Ibu Selvia Vivi Devianti for our group picture. Bapak Dwi, Bapak Toto. Okay, on my three, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, and 3. Another one. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to our session this morning, I would like to invite Bapak Dwi Putra Widianto, Country Manager Indonesia, CIMA, to present about CIMA and CA Pathway. To Bapak Dwi Putra, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Mbak Monique. First of all, I would like to convey my gratitude, thanks especially to IAI, to Bu Selvia Vivi Devianti, National Board of IAI. Also, I saw there is a Pak Denny Purhadianto, National Board of IAI, and also Pak Edward Tanujaya as the Executive Director of AFA, and also Pak Januarto Alamsyah Pak Toto as a Director of Knowledge Center, who give the opportunity for CIMA to share the topics about business innovation, and also to highlight about the continuity of partnership between CIMA and also IAI with a specific program named CIMA IAI Strategic Leaders Program. So if I can share my screen, let me. Okay, so I want to make it quick, but just to give a better understanding of AICP and CIMA, especially for those people who are joining the session that maybe this is the first time you heard about us. So AICP and CIMA, it stands for CIMA stands for Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. It was founded in 1919 in the UK, and we are one of the world's leading and largest professional body of management accountants. Back in 2017, American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and also CIMA members approved the creation of a new global association to represent public and management accounting around the world, named the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, or we call it as the association. So now there is one umbrella who are managing AICPA and also CIMA members, but still the foundation and also each of the elements from each of the professional bodies still remain the same, but it's just a matter of how we manage the membership within both bodies. So this is all about CIMA. We have more than 500,000 members and students across the globe, with including 33 representative office include in Indonesia. So this is just a brief information about who we work with globally and also national in Indonesia, to give us some better perspective that how we are doing in the market. And definitely we are working closely with Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia in Indonesia. That's why we established a program that allowing CA holders to get a waiver or to get a fast track routes to become a CGMA holder. So what makes us unique? CIMA, or we call it as CGMA, Chartered Global Management Accountants, has a competency framework which are focusing on 5 different skills: technical skills, business skills, people skills, leadership skills, and also digital skills. These 5 skills is a day-to-day activities, is a common things that you do at work, in the community, and also in any other organization, which allowing people to applying these 5 skills towards their organization in order for them to make changes, in order for them to bring in the ideas and become a strategic leaders. So I'm going straight to the program, CIMA IAI Strategic Leaders Program. Just to give a better understanding that any other professional qualification consists of some modules. There are a couple of modules that need to be taken to be able to get the full qualification. I believe also II has the same roots, has the same scheme as well. So here are the total 16 modules to become CGMAs. However, with the partnership with the MRA we had with IAI, we are allowing CA holders to go straight to the final exams, which called strategic case study exams. And then the requirement to join for the program is pretty simple. As long as you are a chartered accountant with at least 6 years of relevant experience in finance and business function, it doesn't need to be 6 years after you get CA, but 6 years working experience in finance and business function, you are allowed to go straight to this pathway, go to the final exam only, whereas you will be getting the intensive workshop and training, which covers 3 modules, and also some practices question session, and also the mocking sessions with a one-on-one session as well with the trainer. So this is the modules or the materials that we equipping the participant to be able to not only able to pass or manage the CGMA exam or the strategic case study exam, but this is the strategic level that anyone needs to have when you are entering the organization. In here, like I said, we are really highlighting on how we enabling digitalization, how we are enabling finance function to have those digital mindset, digital pack set, to be able for them to not to be the expert, not to be the expert, but at least know how to handle things when it comes to digital, like digital strategy, cyber risks, and also financial risks within the business valuation in the digital assets. So these are the materials or the workshop training that we equip the participant for the program. And again, this is just a basic overview. That's the module. So in here, we try to bring in what will be the outcome when it comes to the strategic decision, how you can recommend strategic decision, how you can evaluate potential and acquisition opportunities, and how you can recommend to the higher level when you have that kind of business strategy. So when you're doing CIMA or when you're doing a CGMA qualification, these are the areas that we are equipping the participant. These are the areas that we want to assess and bring out the best of the participant in order for the participant to have these outcomes that can they use when you are in any organization that you are working with. Again, the exam. Our exam method is a case study. So it's a very unique way how we are assessing the participant, because when you are entering the workforce, then you will dealing with any kind of case study that maybe just rise up during the time. So again, most of you who already have a working experience more than 6 years, I believe you are dealing with many case studies, which I think it's the best way to bring out the best of you to do the case study exam with CIMA. This is the schedule that we had for the next intake or the next exam, which will took place on August 2025. And again, you will get the details of this information from IAI. And this is just to give you an overview when the preparation will started, how long does it takes, how many hours, how many session, and this is exclude the one-on-one session that you will have with the trainer outside the schedule. So how to register? Again, there are 6 steps. There are 6 documents that you need to submit to IAI. There's an application form. You can get the application from IAI, and updated and detailed CV from each of you who want to join for the program, academic certificates and transcript, scan of CS certificate, and most importantly is the letter of good standing from IAI in order for us to enrolling you for the program, because again, this is a program collaboration between CIMA and also IAI. And last but not least is your scan of ID. You can submit the documents to ppl.iai@iaiglobal.or.id. The arrangement of this program, again, we will be having a special pricing, a special ways to run this program for a CA holder, where IAI will offer an exclusive price for active members. The exclusive price will include registration, the strategic case study exam credit, preparation class, and also workshop and training session, and another 3 complimentary joint seminar event with CIMA, which will take place from March to May 2025. Registration and payment, everything is submitted directly to IAI. So you can contact the IC from IAI on the WhatsApp number here on the screen or by email. Or also you can scan on the screen, there's a QR code that you can scan in order for you to have the WhatsApp official from IAI. This scheme, there is an installment plan and early bird pricing that IAI will be launching, which only available until April 11th, 2025. So you need to make a move in order for you to get these 2 deals from IAI. These are some testimonial from our members and also shareholders, but I'll just go straight that CGMS from one of the testimonial here, that if you want to have a stronger financial and management strategies, then you might consider taking CGMA qualification. Not only the designation, but also to get you better understanding of the businesses in helicopter view. Again, since we are partnering with IAI, and also I think not only with IAI, CIMA also put a high concern on the ESG matters. There is some research that CIMA already launched on our website that you can get publicly, where you can go to the link here, or you just Google AICPA CIMA Sustainability ESG, and you can download those documents from our website. I think that's all from me. Thank you again for IAI for allowing me to share this information, and also allowing me to bring in Charitivity, FCMA, CGMA, one of our esteemed members who are based in Malaysia, but really helpful in the region. And I believe the session that Chari will deliver today will enlighten us about the business innovation that, again, it could help us to face what happened next. Thank you, Mbak Monique. Thank you, everyone in the audience. Back to you, Mbak Monique.
Thank you, Pak Dwi, for sharing the CIMA and CA program. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to our session, I would like to remind you the Zoom meeting protocol that will apply through the session. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite you to mute your microphone during the session, and you may on your video camera. This webinar will be recorded and IAI will broadcast on IAI social media. You are pleased to use the chat function to submit your question. Participant may speak only when permitted after pressing the raise hand feature. Materials and recording can be accessed via IAI website or IAI media communication channel, which will be informed later during the event. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's start our session today. Resilient business models thriving in uncertainty through agile innovation. This webinar aims to explore the resilient business model that prioritize adaptability, innovation, and agility. It will discuss how organizations can construct and sustain business models that not only withstand external shock, but also leverage them as opportunities for growth. The session is designed to provide a strategic roadmap for rethinking business resilience, emphasizing the critical role of agile innovation and transforming challenges into competitive advantages. The session will be delivered by Mr. Charitivity, the advisory member, Digital Technology Committee of Malaysian Institute of Accountants, who also CIMA members, and will be led by Bapak Edward Tanujaya. Bapak Edward and Chari.
Hello, Monica.
The session is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Monica, for delivering the sessions very nicely. And then, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to Bu Vivi, Pak Denny, who are the IAI Council member. Also to Bu Elisani Husin and also Pak Toto. from IAI, and not but least Pak Dwi Putra and Silvana from CIMA Indonesia. Thank you. And it's an honor for me to lead or to facilitate today's webinar. The title, Resilient Business Models, Thriving in Uncertainty Through Agile Innovations. A very complicated words actually, for the title, but I think we could not have more speakers than Pak Chari TVT himself. Pak Chari is, as Monica mentioned, is very well experienced. He is now advisory members in MIA, and if I may add his experience, he also had, MBA degree from State University of New York at Buffalo, or Sunny at Buffalo, and then he used to be the group CFO at Excel and Cellcom groups, Axiata groups, and also Cellcom. And currently, he is still active as some board members in few corporations. And the name of that I remember is from AirAsia Aviation. So I think he is still very much active, engaging in business activities, and also has a lot of experience back that can be shared to us. Pak Jari, good morning. How are you, Pak?
Good morning, Pak Edward. Good to see you.
Good to see you again, Pak Jari.
You've been always kind to me. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. It's an honor for me, sir. And then I also learned from you, from whatever, every time we met you, every time I lead the session that involving you, I learned a lot of things. So I saw it's very interesting slides that you have prepared. It's almost 50 slides, but you still have only, I don't know, 40 minutes probably, but I think we can be a lenient first for that one, because I saw it's very interesting materials in video that you can share. So Pak Jari, if I may, you can start, and then I can remind you if the time's already limited. I can give you first 40 minutes probably until 10 or 11 Kuala Lumpur, or 10 a.m. Jakarta time. Pak Jari, without further ado, please share your thought and presentations.
Thank you. I can share my slides now.
Yeah, while waiting for Pak Chari, I think he himself will be sharing the material. Pak Chari is I'm saying he's still a millennial generations. He's still very active in the technology innovations. Now, okay, Pak. The slide is there. Okay, great. Please, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think initially Ibu Sylvia Devianti set the stage very nicely. And our roles are very different from what it used to be when I was young. And we are a difference maker. We are a co-pilot in a way. And the expectations of the organization has increased substantially from what they expect out of us. Now, the topic of resilient business model is so critical that all of us should understand it fully. And again, in some form or the other, we're doing it, but we're not putting a structure around it. And that's one of the reasons why I thought I'll make this presentation. I really want to thank Edward for inviting me, and also AI for this opportunity. This is great. Now, I just want to start off by saying this. In 1997, there's a gentleman by the name of Reed Hastings, a software entrepreneur, was fined $40 at his local video stores for returning the DVD late. The movie is Apollo 13. He returned the DVD late. This unpleasant experience made him to think of a new business model. He started off Netflix. And what he said was this, that I'll send DVD by mail services and there'll be no late fees at all. You can return it anytime you want. And that's how it started, a business model which came out of a frustration. And then subsequently, they got into this video streaming. And today it is a $39 billion business. And that is the power of business model innovation. So somebody says that, look, there is a different way of doing the same thing. You're actually doing the same thing, but you're doing it in a different way so that the business gets much, much larger. Right? Now, honestly, do you know that 75% of the Fortune 500 companies which were existing in 1960 do not exist anymore? right? Innovation is not about new products and services. It's about rethinking your business model. And that's what we're going to talk about today, right? We play a significant role as finance professionals. We play a significant role, as Sylvia mentioned it many times over, that we need to go and add value to the organization that we serve. And it is not merely the debits and the credits and closing the books and business controls and all that stuff, and all our hygiene factors. Now, the question is, what value are we going to add to the organization is important, right? Now, if I look at in the last 10 years, the Ubers of the world, your Gojek, your Airbnb, Netflix, didn't just disrupt the industry, but completely reinvented the way we think about business models, right? Completely different from what it used to be. And a company was running very well, and suddenly it's. No, I used to work for telco, as Edward said. I used to work for Cellcom. I had a revenue of 8 billion. Out of the $8 billion, 2 billion came from SMS. SMS. Every single SMS that you used to send, I used to get at least about 1,000 to 1,500 SMS for every Hari Raya, every Deepavali, every New Year, every Christmas. And today, what happened to it? It just went away. If I'm working for, say, Excel, the business didn't go to Telecomcell. It didn't go to Indosat. An external party by the name of WhatsApp, he came, he took the business away and said, bye-bye. The 2 billion, 25% of my revenue and 60% of my EBITDA margin just went away right in front of my eyes, right? And that is a new business model. Now, let's take a few minutes to look at what WhatsApp is doing. Now, here I am charging them 1 cent, 2 cent for every SMS. And it adds up to 2 billion, right? Because so many SMSs and so many customers. Now, WhatsApp came and said that, look, I will give it to you free. Wow. If they charge you half a cent, I can fight with them, but they are giving it to you free. Now, have you ever called a call center in WhatsApp to say, you know what? I was trying to send this picture to Edward. It didn't go through. Can you help me? Huh? No call center. Everything works perfectly. 365 days, 24 hours, right? No call center. And this beautiful service, which is connecting me to the whole world, is given to you free. And how do you go and compete? And this is a business model that we're talking about. Now, why is this possible today when this was not possible yesterday? Now, whether it is Airbnb, whether it is Uber, it is possible because of technology. Now, you got what is known as a Google map, which covers the entire world. 20 years back, if somebody had said that, look, I'll give you a map of the world, every street, and you can recover it at any point in time, you won't even believe it. And today it is reality, right? Technology is helping. The cost of storage is helping. Cost of storage has come down a lot. Every household today will have at least 3 to 4 terabyte of information. And those days, 20 years back, 30 years back, if it's a terabyte, you're a large enterprise. And today, every household has got terabytes of it. Now, globalization, interconnectivity. Now, someone like Grab or someone like Airbnb can get into literally the whole world within a matter of 4 years. But if it's a normal brick and mortar company like the Ritz-Carlton, it will take 80 years, 90 years. We'll just talk about that also. So the business models are so important. And I believe that as finance professionals, we should be thinking about how do we do it differently so that our business is sustainable, we'll make more profits, and deliver excellent customer satisfaction. So this is what I'm going to do for the next 45 minutes or something. I'm going to show you multiple cases of business models, which will help you. Now, this we have already seen the evolution of finance. We used to be called bean counter, bookkeeper, goalkeeper. All that has changed. As Ibu Sylvia very rightly said, we are a strategic business partner and advisor, and we are adding value to the organization. We have a table at the strategy, right? The future of the organization is dependent on you. And we do a lot of other stuff, not just the transaction processing, which is considered as a hygiene factor. But today, with the very sophisticated ERPs like the SAPs of the world, Oracles of the world, Microsoft, they do a lot of mundane work, but it gives you a little more opportunity to do a lot of strategic work for us. Now, as I said, we are not navigators anymore. We are a co-pilot, and we have a table. We have a chair at the table. Now let's look at this. What is business model, right? Business model has been transformed by technology, interconnectivity, globalization. These are important words. It happens. Think about Airbnb. Think about Uber or a Grab or a Gojek in your country, right? It is happening because of technology, right? Now, Amazon is $1 trillion company today. And what do? They deliver goods from one place to the other, right? They connect the demand and supplies through a platform. And the platform works very seamlessly, and somebody comes and delivers it to you, right? So again, technology plays a significant role in terms of success of some of these companies, whether it is Uber or Airbnb or Amazon, right? Now, should it be just the technology, or there are non-technology stuff that happens also? So let me give you a few examples of non-technology stuff where in the past, right? Now, I sit with AirAsia. Now, Rolls-Royce comes into us. They are the engine manufacturers, as you know. Each engine will cost you probably about 30 to 40 million US dollars. Let's say they don't come to us and say that, look, pay me 40 million for one engine, 40 million for another engine, totally 80 million, and I'll sell this to you. Their business model is pay me $500 for every hour of flight, and I'll take care of your engine. Wow. Can you imagine? As an accountant, we'll say that, look, 80 million on day one is better than collecting this $500 over the next 15 years. That's what a finance guy will say. But if you go and dig deeper, that business model is so compelling. 3 compelling reasons when I dig. Now, first, they said that, look, it's an easier sell. If I go and say that you got to pay 80 million US dollars, AirAsia, they'll say, haha, I got to go and find money. I got to go and borrow money. Right? If I say only $500 per hour, then pay as you grow, then it's easier sell. Number 2 is every engine has got a 15-year lifespan for maintenance. If I sell it for $80 million and walk away, I lose that 15 years of maintenance revenue. It'll probably go to somewhere else. That's the second point. The third point is even more compelling. Now, most of the airlines go through difficult period, right? Cash flow not there and all that. So when I run short of cash flow, what happens is, will I pay the pilot or will I make the maintenance? So what they say is that, look, you will end up paying the pilots and you won't maintain it. As a result of which, if 2 of my engines come down, my reputation goes down. Rolls-Royce says, my reputation goes down. Please do not touch my engine. I'll touch it. I'll maintain it. And if you don't pay the $500, I'll cut you off, whatever. Right? They have the control. So look at the business model. It's 3 compelling reasons as to why they shouldn't be collecting that 80 million on day one and collect that $500 per hour of flight with a minimum guarantee somewhere over a period of time. It's amazing the way people think. Now, how much of time, the question is, how much of time do we spend as finance professionals and board, even board? I keep asking this question, how much of time do we spend or in the board thinking about a change of business model? Right. Now let's look at this piece. The business models have got a completely different pace and scalability. Marriott took 88 years to build 697,000 rooms in 80 countries. Airbnb took only 4 years. The reason is this, they have just the platform. The platform is technology based and they connect the north and the south. The north being the demand comes from you and me. The south is countries where people have houses and apartments. They connect the two together seamlessly, and there is a mechanism to go and evaluate the behavior of the individuals, and then people will go into. So look at the one on the left is called the brick and mortar. The one on the right is called the click and mortar. The click and mortar is getting to be a lot more powerful. And I even if you look at the market capitalization of the brick and mortar versus click and mortar, the click and mortar is literally about 100 to 200 times higher in terms of valuation compared to a brick and mortar company. And if you look at what which are the biggest companies in the world? If you go and ask them, 15 years back, they'll say Chevron, Citibank, JP Morgan, Shell, whatever, like all of them are brick and mortar companies. And today, if you go and ask which company has got the highest market capitalization, it will be Google, it will be Facebook, it will be Amazon, all click and mortar companies, right? And if you look at the business model, Uber has got no vehicles. They do not own. Their ROIC, the asset base is very small. Their business model is very different, right? And Facebook does not create any content. Alibaba does not keep any inventory. Airbnb does not own any real estate. And it's amazing the way they think. They change the game completely so that they become resilient and very profitable. Right? Now, what we find is this, that people who have changed the business model have done an exceedingly good job in terms of enhancing either the revenue and profitability. Now, the business model is not about new products and new innovation and all the stuff, services, that we can talk about separately, but merely changing the business model will drive sustainable business. Now, what I'm going to do is this, right? Let's talk about this in three different folds. One is, what was the business model in the past? What is happening today and what's happening tomorrow? We'll do all the three nicely so that we give you as many examples as possible so that it resonates well and it goes inside you, right? I'll have to keep to my time and I'll try to do my best. Now, in the past, what happens is this. Now, let me say that I go to a normal fine dining restaurant. I go look at the menu, call the chef, speak to the chef and say, look, I need this item, this item, this item. I want less salt. I want no sugar, whatever, I give them, and then 20 to 30 minutes later, I get a hot food in my table. With my family, I eat and I walk out and I'm happy. Normally it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to go and do. Now, these guys completely changed that game. 3 minutes order, 3 minutes delivery. Today, it is a $150 billion company, right? Between McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Starbucks, you're still delivering food. You're still delivering drinks. But the way the business model is very different. They provided certain element of consistency, and the brand, and whether you buy a French fries in San Francisco or Jakarta or Kuala Lumpur or India, it doesn't matter. It is just the same. There's a consistency that was brought about, but their value proposition is place the order in 2 minutes or 3 minutes time. I'll deliver it in 3 minutes time. Change a business model. Now, the second example is something that you will all understand. Normally we used to go to a carpenter and say, and then measure it and say, I need a table, I need a chair, I need a wardrobe, whatever it is. And these guys went and changed it. And again, this is hundreds of millions of dollars of worth business. It's amazing the way they changed the business model to drive incremental revenue. Now, what are they doing? They are still delivering furniture in a very different way. Instead of waiting for 3 months or 4 months, you come, touch, feel, and buy it and fix it yourself. Change the business model, right? Now, not much of a technology is involved. These are all the old style, right? Now, Netflix, we spoke about. This guy was so pissed off for being charged $40 US. They disrupted the entire DVD business. Entire DVD business is gone. Who's got DVD now? Unless you're old like me, you won't even know what DVD is, right? So the Netflix business is today a $39 billion revenue company. He was just pissed off for $40, $40 US fine. He was so upset with it, and he created this industry, disrupting the whole industry. And today it's a $39 billion revenue company. Now, what does he do? He still delivers movie, right? And we still watch DVD. Instead of watching it through a DVD, it's a video streaming that comes to your house. And he gives you millions of opportunities, millions of options for you to go and watch. So again, this is the business model change. And there are multiple opportunities that we talk about. Now, in the past, again, Xerox does not come to you and say, please buy this printer for $6,000, buy paper for whatever, $500, buy ink cartridges for $200. No, they changed the business game completely. It took HP off guard, it took Canon off guard, and they've developed a successful business model, which is that, look, I got a counter which is going to count the number of prints that you're printing on my, and at the end of the month, I'll come back and give you a bill and you pay me, right? Again, it's easy for any administrator to go and sign up. Yes, I'm going to pay as I grow. I'm going to pay as I print. And so this is easy for me rather than going and buying a printer and all that stuff, right? Now, we spoke about this Rolls-Royce story. It is real. They don't charge 25, 30, 40 US dollars, 40 million US dollars per engine. They charge only $500 per hour. And compelling, really, really compelling for any airlines to say, okay, I'll sign up for it. Right? Again, change the business model. They're still delivering engines. Right? Now, these are some of, again, the old stories around, when HP sends a printer, they don't make money on printer. They lose a lot of money and they make money on cartridges. Same thing with Gillette, does the same thing. AirAsia is known to say that, look, I'm a low-cost airlines. If you want full-fledged all-service airlines, you go to Singapore Airlines. But when you want low price, come to me and I'll take care of you. No frills, but I'll take you from point A to point B at the lowest cost possible. They just disrupted the market also in a way. So multiple examples of how they run the business. Now, the pricing plays a significant role also. Pricing plays a significant role. And I just want you to sort of look at one or two examples. I don't want to cover all of them. AirAsia has a special seats, normal seat. They put a red cap on each of those seats and they price you higher. Like these are called the premium seats or hot seats, they call it. They charge. In some time back, they also had this quiet zones. In the quiet zone between, say, row number 11 to 15 or 16, there'll be no kids. Nobody will cry. And so people are willing to pay a certain element of premium. So it's, again, a change of business model, a change of thinking in terms of how we go to market. Now, if you look at the shampoo, right, the sachet-based selling is also a change of business model. Now, instead of just selling the bottles, full bottles, they started selling sachet. The yield, the profitability for sachet is far better than the full bottle. And there are a bunch of customers who will be so happy to buy a sachet rather than buying the whole bottle. If I'm a truck driver, for example, I would want to carry a whole bottle all the way with me. I would want just one sachet whenever I want to have a bath and I wash myself nicely. Now, they took this idea today. There's a company in India called Haldiram. They sell murukku. Murukku is like your kachang puteh. Literally, they sell kachang puteh. And today, the value of the company is 10 billion US dollar. One company called Haldiram, you can go and Google. 10 billion US dollar is the market capitalization of the company. So again, taking a simple concept and changing the business model, staying consistent, adding value to the customer will drive a huge amount of revenue, profitability, sustainability for you. And all I'm requesting, all of us, I mean, we're all absolute good professionals. We should start thinking in terms of, what can I do to my own organization to drive those changes, right? Go to market, right? Let me give you one more example. I was in Bangladesh. We have a subsidiary in Bangladesh. And we are a telco, right? We are a telco. We used to sell SIM cards and reload cards using dealers and distributors. We suddenly realized that women in Bangladesh, after 9:30, they are free. By 9:30, the husband has gone off to work. The house is empty. The kids have gone to school. By the time they come back, it's 4 o'clock in the evening. So between 9:30 and 4 o'clock, they're free. What do I do? So we gave them all an application, and all of them carry a handphone anyway, and say that, look, you are my dealer now. Why don't you go and sell? And suddenly the whole nation, women said, look, I want to sign up. and suddenly your business double, triple, whatever, So you have, and the cost is much less because these guys are willing um, uh, to charge you less amount of money for the services that they render because this is an additional revenue or income which they were not getting before. They were so happy. In fact, when the customer doesn't pay for postpaid, they'll call up the customer and say, "Look, you got to pay this to Robi, please. Only when you pay, I get my commission. Can you pay?" Instead of we chasing them, they were chasing. So amazing in terms of what business model can do to drive some of those behavior. Now, again, understand this concept called profit pool. It's a 1 hour presentation just for this item called profit pool. Now, if I go to Malaysian airports, for example, there's something known as aero business and non-aero business. The aero business is completely regulated. How many planes are landing, how many hours are they changing, and then the passenger service fees are all regulated. And you get only X amount of money. You don't make as much money on the aero side of the business. The non-aero side of the business is where you make all the money. Now, so the airports are now becoming what? It's a shopping complex, essentially. They make you walk, and they make you look at everything. They tempt you, they make you buy, they make you eat, and that's when they make their profitability. So again, if I had confined myself to just the aero side of it, they'd be probably making a profit of X. Because they have started focusing on the non-aero side, which is the profit pool that they're talking about, then their profitability is, 8X, 9X more than what you would otherwise make. Think, think. There are huge amounts of opportunity for us. The landing fee, parking fee, it's all in the slide anyway. Look at it. But all that I'm requesting you is that we have huge amounts of opportunity for us to make a difference, and we should make those differences. Okay. Now, coffee, I'll skip this. Now, so we've seen what has happened in the past, whether it is Dell, Ryanair, DHL, Xerox, Nescafe, all these are the old ways of changing the business model. Now let's go to what's happening now, right? And then we will move to what's happening in the future. What's happening now is this. It's all based on technology. It's all based on connectivity. It's all based on globalization. This company called Booking.com is so powerful. They come and sit in between the hotel and yourself. You don't go to the hotel directly. You always go through Booking.com. Why? Right? The business model has changed. Today, the hotels are saying, "Oh my God, I can't live without Booking.com. I was making a profit of 30, 40%. Majority of that is now going into Booking.com." Right? So the Booking.com, the Airbnb, the Uber, Amazon, WhatsApp, Facebook, they're all changing the game. And their business models are by and large very different. The Booking.com will probably say that I want to get as much information about you and I can use that money for advertisement. Facebook is very similar. Google is very similar. Their business models are that I don't want money on, for example, WhatsApp. I don't want any money from you. If somebody charges me $1 per month, I will not hesitate to pay. Right? Even if they charge $1 per annum, that's an additional 2.5 billion US dollars to the top line for them. And it will straight go to the bottom line. But the company says, I don't want that money. I will take the money through advertisement. The concept is called the freemium. Free, but there's a premium attached to it. It's called freemium, right? So get to learn this. I'm an old man. I'm so excited about this piece. I wish I'm 30 years younger. I can't be. But fundamentally, there's a lot to learn, a lot to make changes to your organization so that you can be successful. Look at even Apple Store, Apple Store, you cannot download anything, any application without that going through an Apple Store. An Apple Store is such a genius concept by them that every single application gets downloaded. And if it's paid application, they literally get 30% of the revenue, 30%. Sitting there, creating a platform, making sure that the customers are protected, and they get 30%. Amazing. And under normal circumstances, even without the application store, we can directly go and download it. They will never allow that to happen. it has to go through. So again, think about profit pools, think about where we can make money legally, legitimately, and bring that into. And the customers are happy. It's not as though we are cheating the customers. The customers are extremely happy because their interests are fully protected in a way, right? Now, using technology, I don't know whether you must have seen this before. I want you to spend about a couple of minutes on it. I hope you can hear the voice. Albert, can you hear the sound?
The traffic jam Whopper. We used real-time data to detect our potential buyers in a traffic jam to offer them a Whopper and deliver on the move.
Fernanda, buenos días. Señor Eduardo, buenas tardes.
¡Ay, qué bello!
Llegaste en chinga, cabrón. Me cagaba de hambre.
Our media was 100% dynamic, promoting our service only in high congestion zones. By leveraging traffic and drivers' real-time data, we adjusted our billboards' location and content. The messages displayed information about the remaining time in traffic to order and personalized updates about deliveries in progress. Also, Waze banner ads and push notifications invited drivers to get a Whopper as soon as they entered our delivery zones. People were able to use voice commands to place the order and avoid tickets. Finally, using the latest Google Maps APIs, our app pinpointed vehicle location and speed in order to deliver for the first time ever to a driver on the move. The delivery zones changed, following the traffic live, making our service available when a gridlock was identified, always within a 3-kilometer radius from the restaurants.
Hola Mariana, ¿cómo estás?
¡Ay, te agarraría besos!
Lo siento, estoy en servicio.
In just 1 week, we increased delivery orders by 63%, and our daily app download rate increased 44 times, becoming the #1 fast food app, surpassing McDonald's, Domino's, and Starbucks in Mexico. Coming soon, Los Angeles, San Paulo, and Shanghai. The Traffic Jam Whopper.
Enjoy the traffic jam.
If you like it, put a sticker on top, put a thumbs up on it. It's an amazing story to me that they use a constraint, which is a traffic jam, and using technology, they are in a position to go and sell more into the organization, which is again, like they're competing with their competitors, and their market share is getting bigger. And I don't ask me whether it is morally right or wrong and all that stuff, but I'm just saying the thinking process around how do I go and address that customer who's struggling now, sitting in the traffic for a long time, and how can I go and provide services? Which is an amazing story here. Okay, we spoke about this. Now I'll skip some of them. Now, this is another story that I want you to sort of see for a minute. This is amazing that people think so much outside the box to come out with different business models.
2 women from Harvard Business School dreamed up a company based on a simple premise. A woman never has to wear the same outfit twice, and she doesn't have to buy it at all. Sounds good, right? Millions of other women like that idea too. Michelle Miller is inside a warehouse in Secaucus, New Jersey, just west of New York City, with a story that you'll see only on CBS this morning. Michelle, we like it. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, this is just about every woman's fantasy. Thousands and thousands of dresses right at her fingertips. Well, Rent the Runway wants to change the way a woman gets dressed and how she invests in a wardrobe. So the woman who says to you, I have nothing to wear, you're turning her on her head.
Well, we have 100,000 options of what she can wear.
Inside this 40,000 square foot warehouse in Secaucus, New Jersey, is the giant closet that is Rent the Runway. The company, part e-commerce site and part tech startup, stores some pretty glamorous merchandise. 100,000 designer dresses, all available for rental through their website.
Before we send out any dress or any piece of jewelry to a customer, we'll do a final check to make sure that it's in perfect condition.
With more than 250 designer brands, rental prices range from $5 to $475. This $3,500 Calvin Klein dress rents for $170. This $1,000 Oscar de la Renta necklace for just $150. Jennifer Hyman is Rent the Runway's CEO. Who is Rent the Runway's target customer?
I call her the go-getter girl. She's a professional, and she's using Rent the Runway because it helps her optimize her time.
Do these designers see you as their competition?
Designers see us as one of their biggest allies because we're introducing a demographic of women that was not.
So you get a picture. Now, instead of going into Gucci and buying a Gucci yellow bag for one wedding, here is an opportunity for you to buy or rent it for a week and you return it, right? And the way they go to the market is so intelligent. They look for women between 17 and 28 or 29 having 2 credit cards. So they take the full money initially. The minute you return, they'll give back the 90%. Just amazing story. And this is a $500 million company already. So again, what are you delivering? You're still delivering the same clothes. But here is a person's dilemma. If I'm somebody like Ibu Monica, for example, I wouldn't want to wear the same dress twice, for 2 weddings. I want to have 2 different dresses. So instead of buying one for $1,000 and throwing it away, here we go. And I go and rent it, a yellow Gucci bag to start with. The next wedding, I got a pink Prada bag, whatever, So again, the business model is so important that somebody has to start thinking, and we play a significant role as finance professionals to change the game in a way. Right?
2 women.
Now, this is also a fantastic business model. Really, really, really. This is called the farm to plate supply chain efficiency. And today, let's take India or Indonesia for that matter, right? Now, I go to a farmer and the farmer is producing tomatoes. And I pay them, let's say, 1,000 rupiah for every kilo, right? And then there's normally a local guy will just come and pick up, 1,000 kilos or something like that. He stores it for some time. And another bigger guy will come and buy, and he stores it for some time, and he stores it. And it changes about 4 hands before it goes to the end user. Now, in the meantime, what happens is this, because of the transportation, these tomatoes get squashed up. And instead of 1,000 kilo, by the time it reaches the end user, it's only about end user shop. It's only 600 kilos because the rats have eaten it, squashed, whatever it is. The inefficiency in transportation has also killed. And the farmer gets a very small amount of money. The end user pays a huge amount of money. And we are paying for all the inefficiencies in between, whether it is storage, transportation, and all that. Now this company is coming back and saying that I'm going to create a platform. And the end user shop, whatever, will come back and say that, look, I need 1,000 kilos of tomato. That goes straight to the farmer, and the farmer produces exactly that. So instead of getting 1,000 rupiah, this farmer is going to get 2,000 rupiah. Instead of the end user paying 100,000 rupiah, he's going to pay 70,000 rupiah, whatever. So the end user pays less, the farmer gets more money, and all the inefficiencies are gone because there's a platform and there's one transporter which is taking up from the farm to the plate. Just amazing in terms of efficiency that you can bring about. This is available. This technology is available. This is being practiced well, and we are reducing a huge amount of wastage. This is ESG compliant in a way too. So beautiful story around how business models are changing the way we look at things. I'll skip some of them. But yeah, okay, the most boring business. Even here, technology and business models are driving. 2 minutes.
Yes,
maybe.
there is such a thing as a connected car. It's a sexy story. It's got all of the buzzwords of today, the Internet of Things, the cloud, data science, analytics. But it's also about how a little bit of ingenuity can transform even some of the oldest industries in the world. And let me explain what that means. That's a connected cow that I'm talking about. Look at those pedometers on their feet. I'm wearing one of them. It's made by Fujitsu. It's very reliable. It has a 5-year battery. It can survive even the toughest environments in the farm. And it's constantly measuring the number of steps the cow takes. And that data is being sent to the cloud into Microsoft Azure, where there is a service that's analyzing the number of steps the cow is taking. So, do cows need to take 10,000 steps a day too? Before I give you the answer, let's take a step back. Every company is a data company, even the ones you least expect, even dairy farms. Now, dairy farms have all the constraints of a modern business. They have a fixed production capacity. They have a herd that they have to manage. There's farm labor, which is very expensive. So what could a dairy farmer do? Well, there are two important controls. First, he can monitor for disease and prevent the loss of herd by early detection. Second, he can improve cattle production by accurate detection of estrus. Now, if you remember high school biology, estrus is when the animal goes into heat. And it turns out that cattle goes into heat only for very short durations of time. That's true about all farm animals, by the way. All animals, they are ready to mate and have children only during very.
So you got a picture of it, right? Now let me quickly run through some of them. I'm going to skip off, given the time constraint that we have. Now, Microsoft, I can tell you, is again a fantastic company, which was only printing money on the Office 365. Now they've taken everything into cloud, same services but provided in the cloud, and now they made this so big. And again, a change of business model with a new CEO coming in and all that. This is a $1 trillion company. $3 trillion company. In fact, a $3 trillion company means I have to put 8 Malaysia's GDP into one company, and 8 times Malaysia is equal to one company. That's a kind of market capitalization that we talk about Microsoft. And again, change the business model has helped them even at that level. The large companies, it changed. Now let's look at where the world is heading. It's just amazing. And I'll show you just 2 quick videos, and then we will summarize it so that I don't run too late. Now, I want you to just look at this. The first one.
Tesla has begun selling homes for $10,000 each. Elon Musk, with his billion-dollar fortune, has introduced the Tesla Home, a fully furnished residence. To set an example, he sold his own $50 million mansion and moved into the first Tesla home. These homes are box-shaped and manufactured in parts at a factory, then transported by truck and assembled within 2 days. They come with a standard layout of 2 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. The walls of Tesla homes are made from sustainable, eco-friendly materials, which are fireproof, mold-resistant, and capable of withstanding hurricanes, while also being durable. Moreover, the roof is equipped with solar panels, which not only power the house, but also store excess energy in a power wall. There's also a rainwater collection and filtration system for water storage. One of the key selling points is energy efficiency and environmental friendliness. These homes can connect to the Tesla Home app, allowing users to monitor their house's usage in real time and remotely control all devices within the home. Each house also comes with a Tesla supercharger socket. An interesting feature is the mobility of these homes. If you decide to move, you don't need to pack up appliances or luggage. You can simply tow the house away with a car. Tesla homes are built with the most advanced materials and technology, ensuring safety and sustainability while fulfilling all residential needs. The question is, would you be willing to spend $10,000 on such a house?
Now, I sit in the board of a company called UEM Sunrise. It takes anywhere between 4.5 to 5 years for us from the time we acquire the land to the time we hand over the keys. And here, these guys are doing it in about 4 days' time. Change the complete game, right? Whether this will take off in the next 5 years, 10 years is a different question. But fundamentally, somebody is thinking about it. They are delivering it within 4 days' time, and it is ESG compliant. It's got solar power. It's got IoT device. Anything that you can ask for, it's all available, and at a price which is fraction of what you would otherwise pay, right? So it's amazing in terms of innovation, business model changes. You're still delivering a house, right? But delivered in a different way. Now, one last piece. This is to me an amazing story of the most boring industry called the death industry, where they make coffin, and how this has changed in Italy. What's this?
You can become one with nature by putting your body in a capsule. This is a new type of burial introduced in Italy, the human egg capsule burial. It's different from the traditional way of burial. As the name suggests, the body of the deceased is put into a biodegradable egg-shaped capsule and buried with a seed in the ground. The body is curled up in the capsule like a baby in its mother's womb. This means that life begins and ends in this position. Over time, the capsule will degrade in the soil and the seeds will take root. The body will become the nutrients for the seed until it grows into a huge tree. This is a unique burial method that focuses on a green environment. The tree represents the headstone, which is warmer than the cold stone. As the tree grows, the relatives will feel the continuity of new life and the significance of the deceased's existence at the same time. In addition, this type of burial offers a personalized service. The family can choose the type of tree or the color of the capsule, and also install a locator in the capsule so that the family can easily find your tree among the many trees. In fact, the human egg-shaped capsule burial method symbolizes not only a cycle of life, it's also a gift to nature. So would you like to become a tree at the end of your life and continue to exist in this world as a new life?
Again, a beautiful story to me. Instead of walking into a cemetery, which is eerie a little bit, and you walk into a park. It's ESG compliant. And they give you an option, the color of the tree, the color of the flower can be varied depending on what you want. Just amazing. Even coffin business is amazing.
Tesla has begun selling.
Okay, so I think I'm running late. I will probably summarize it, right? We've given you a number of examples. I can stay here and talk for another 3 more hours, giving you multiple examples of what the world is doing. But we need to take some of these ideas, not all the ideas, to our own organization and see how best we can add value. Now, profitability and sustainability is far in excess in business model change than even product innovation or service innovation. And that's what the consultants say. Now, if you don't innovate yourself, whatever that has happened to Kodak will happen to you. Whatever that has happened to Philips and Nokia will happen to us. And so we should not be a party to any of that piece. Now, clearly, the market capitalization of some of these large companies are all software-driven, more a click and mortar company rather than brick and mortar company. With the exception of NVIDIA, everything else is click and mortar company anyway. Multiple, again, examples of any digital transformation. First, you do the business model transformation, profit pool, pricing innovation, and all that. And then you go to radical simplification and digitalization. But the first pillar for any digital transformation is the business model transformation, right? Now, there are multiple options for you. Franchise business model, application business model, pricing business model, platform business model. There are multiple options for us to go and think through in terms of how we want to go and execute. Pick the ones which is necessary for your organization. So with that, given the time constraint, I'll probably stop here. Over to you, Pa Edward. I did my best to give as many examples as possible. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Chari, for sharing. Anyway, it's very always inspiring to hear what you thought and then what you share. And I also learned a lot of new things here. And then I bet that my colleagues here who joined, the participants now reach 468 people joining your webinar, Pak Chari. And then they are already asked questions. So actually, I want to ask questions, but let's give them to the audience lah. I can ask you personally if I had some question to clarify, but probably the audience. Yeah, I like to give them the audience opportunity. And then there's some questions probably that already asked. So first questions, yeah, if I may read it to you, from Pak. Let me talk from Pak Muhammad Ali Akbar Tanjung. Yeah. Pak Muhammad Ali Akbar Tanjung is from Airnav Indonesia. It's, Chari, it's the, airport management who do the air traffic control. in Indonesia, the ATC. Pali Akbar Tanjung asked one question is about how can company build resilient business models to survive economic uncertainty and this technological disruptions era. And then in the context of agile innovations, what are the most effective strategies to ensure a balance between flexibility and stability business model? That's for first question from Pak Akli Akbar Tanjung. And if I may continue with second one, because it's quite related also. Well, Pak Bangsawan mentioned that it's not about just technology orientations that influence business model, but also, in his opinion, entrepreneurial orientations. This is where the leaders start the journey to gain competitive advantage or competitive edge. So, in his opinion, entrepreneurial orientations expect entrepreneurial champions to prioritize the iterative interplay between intended and actual business model innovations. Any opinion from you, Chari, about technological orientations versus entrepreneurial orientations? That's the first three questions. Please.
I think a good question by Muhammad Ali. What we try to do is this, that we have a board committee, governance and risk committee, and all the opportunities as well as threat comes here for discussion, right? Now, and again, this is where you need to probably throw all the potential risk associated with it and take the risk to convert this into an opportunity, right? Now, for let's say for UEM Sunrise, what we find is that today, which means that we need to scan the market on a regular basis. We need to spend literally 20 to 30% of your total board time to discuss, including management, not just the board. Board and management will have to start thinking about what can disrupt you and what do we need to do to drive. Now, if I look at the current generation of people, right, they want to have no strings attached life. They don't want to get married. They don't want to, they don't mind staying together, but no strings attached. If they have to leave, they just leave and go kind of stuff. And under these circumstances, what we are finding is this, that 5 years from today, 6 years from today, they say that, look, why am I going and buying this house and borrowing a huge amount of money to the bank? And I'm paying this over a period of 25 years or 30 years. And this is what my father did. I don't want to do it. I want a no string attached life. As a result of which, now when I'm building a house, now will I have to do build to sell or build to rent? So the BTR concept is coming through. Now, this can only happen when the business model changes can only happen when you start taking a note of what is happening around the world for you. You should probably start scanning the market, identify what the risks are, what's happening in the US, what's happening in Europe, and then bring that into your own context to see what do I need to do different. So this is where the me time and thinking of 20, 30% of your time or into the board is so critical. Otherwise, you will never get those ideas. You think that, yeah, everything is honky-dory, and then suddenly you'll be swept away by somebody who has come out with this idea.
Yeah, that's correct. That's true. And how about the opinions on the entrepreneur skills, entrepreneur orientations? There's not just technological orientations that we need now, but also
I think
entrepreneur.
it is not easy, and creating that culture is coming. It has to be the tone at the top, whether it is the chairman of the organization or the CEO of the organization will have to drive that. And somehow or other, what I find is that in this part of the world, at least, the Chinese businessmen, even if they're working for a large organization, they have these entrepreneurial skills, and they quickly go and make those decisions and then move forward. But people who are extremely governance oriented, what happens is it stifles that entrepreneurship. So we need to have a good balance between governance and entrepreneurship. And what I find is that whenever there is a huge amount of governance, I'm not saying governance is bad. Governance is good. It is necessary. It is also helps you to drive your profitability up and all that stuff. But too much of constraint will stifle entrepreneurship in a way. So it has to be a perfect balance. The tone at the top is going to be important. Your finance limits of authority will also speak, whether somebody can take a decision closer to the ground or otherwise. And FLOS says that, look, the general manager of the region can only sign up to $5,000, you know that there will be no entrepreneurship in the place. So I think we play a significant role as it was stated earlier. Finance plays a significant role in balancing that also.
Okay, thank you, Pak Chari. Well, earlier you mentioned that the board probably need to discuss on how to apply any concept that you shared within their situations and conditions that they face, right? And we are coming from almost similar background. You are from Malaysia and we are from Indonesia. We share almost same cultures. The examples that you show earlier is coming from, well, more developed and advanced countries like from US, Europe backgrounds. So the concept of agile innovation is actually coming from, American company or European company. Pak Yosef Agus Bagus asked questions. How can we adjust these agile issues, agile innovation, agile business model to embed, the cultures in Indonesia or even in Malaysia? Pak Chari.
No, it's a good question. Again, but the so-called unicorns are not confined now to the US alone. Now I find enough number of Indian companies, enough number of Chinese companies, a number of European companies, and Indonesia has also come out with lots of good companies like the Gojeks of the world. The Grab is a Malaysian company, which took on even Uber. Uber has got a stake, and they did better than Uber. Uber was so worried that Uber said that, look, instead of fighting with you, I might as well take a stake in it. So essentially, we need to train the entrepreneurs, which we are doing. There are enough organizations, global organizations now. There's a company called Endeavor, and I'm one of the mentors. We go and sit in front of those young entrepreneurs to say what needs to be done, what can you think through, stuff like that. Again, you will have enough number of opportunities in. Now, the one not so good things about this part of the world is if there is a failure, we look down on people. Like, for example, if I start a company and I fail, and the whole society looks down on. In the US, if you fail 4 times, you're a great guy because 5th time you won't fail. So those cultural changes will have to happen. But other than that, I think the brain is the same, whether you're in the US and most of the brain was sitting there in the US are all Asians anyway. So
okay,
I think we should bring it. We all play a role in making sure that we bring in those entrepreneurial skills here.
Okay, thank you, Pak Chari. I think so. It's not a matter of, we are living in US or we are living in Asia, we are living in Indonesia. Still, we still have opportunity to survive and applying this agile business model. I'm agree with that. And I think the example of Grab that you mentioned is a good example. They can overcome, forbid, Uber in Asia because they understand. I think they understand the culture here.
Your Gojek is also a fantastic innovation.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, thank you. And there's another questions from Catherine Pong, asking about people getting innovative in doing their business, but in her opinions, the most important thing is thinking out of the box, thinking out of the box, and make it go as fast as you can to grab the market share. So from thinking out of the box and then grab the market as fast as you can. What do you think? Do you agree with these 2 statements from Catherine?
I think the strategic discussion, sitting in a room thinking about how do I do differently, not so much the product innovation or service innovation, but how do I go to market differently? And once you decide it, you move very quickly and execute it. Now, you will find very soon that some of the decisions that you take were wrong. Cut it off and move on to the next one. So you should be ready. Don't hold on to it forever also. You should be dynamic enough to go and make those changes. For example, even if I look at this, there's a Netflix guy, when he started, he started selling DVDs through email. Then suddenly he changed it into a video streaming, which became a $39 billion company. So it doesn't mean that the first decision that you take is right and then you move forward. You should be agile enough to go and make tweaks that's required to make it sustainable and better. But always think that you should be better than your competitor. You want to make this sustainable and all that stuff. Look at DHL. Look at DHL as a great company. and they deliver millions and billions of parcels. Technology is driving the whole thing. Now, what is so great about delivering a parcel from one place to the other? It's anybody can do it technically, but how can I do it without mistake and on time? And that's perfection over a period of time. And I'm sure they must have also made enough number of mistakes, but over a period of time, they've perfected the art. But there has to be a passion, willingness to be really top of the market.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Jari. Pak Jari, just curious, yeah. You mentioned about the idea of Netflix coming from the founder are not unhappy being fined or being late to submit to return the video. And I remember that Anthony Tan from Grab also started the idea of of Grab, yeah, because he find difficulties, yeah, to find taxis, yeah, in Kuala Lumpur. At that time, the taxi service is not that good, yeah, in KL. Then he had very difficulty to catch up a taxi and then to help the other her colleagues, his colleagues, to get a taxi. And also the start of Airbnb also start almost the same because the founder find difficulties, yeah, to rent a room at a hotel during a very peak seasons, yeah. So it's coming from a very simple experience actually.
Exactly.
So how we can, elaborate and elevate, yeah, this simple experience into something that become multi-billion business model at the end?
I think it's a fantastic question. Really, really good question because my mindset is also now changed. Whenever you find inefficiency, you think about how do I go and fix it. Now, instead of finding inefficiency, you should probably go back and say that look, let's say I'm walking into the airport. Now, what inefficiencies that's existing here that I can automate or make it better? Right? Now, for example, I go to the airport during my prime days at least 4 times a month. They know exactly where I'm going. They know me. They know my passport. My passport when it's expiring. What airlines that I'm taking, what seat number. I'm a vegetarian. They know everything about me. And in spite of it, why are they making me stand in that bloody queue for 1.5 hours to issue me a ticket? That was unnecessary. Boarding pass is unnecessary. So these are things that the minute you see it, you should say, wow, that's an inefficiency. We need to fix it. So you should start thinking around. Like, for example, I go let's say, to see my son in London. And when DHL sends me a parcel from the US to my house in Malaysia, I can track minute by minute. But when I'm sitting in the plane, I don't even know whether the baggage is coming in the same plane or not. No, can somebody tell me? So that's an inefficiency. So you should start having that mindset and I for identifying the problem. For example, every single hotel wastes about 30 to 40% of food every day.
Yeah.
Now, can I do something about it? So multiple opportunities and I'm not saying all opportunities can be converted into business, but you should have that eye to go and pick up.
Yeah, that's true, Pak Chari. That eye and that mindset, yeah. So we are almost running out of time, but since there's no other questions, can I ask one last questions to you, yeah, Pak Chari, yeah? Because we are most of participants from accountant, and you mentioned earlier from VV to self-VV statement, it's not about just about it should be beyond the numbers. Accountant should think beyond the numbers, not think about number cruncher, but we should go beyond the numbers and we should be a difference maker. So based on your long experience and still you are very active nowadays, yeah. In the future, yeah, what should we do as accountant so that we can participate in this agile and being relevant in this, dynamic business situations?
Good question. Good question. And I like what Ibu Sylvia said. And she said, we are a difference maker. And we, of course, those days, 40 years back, I used to do manual general ledger, manually add debits and credits. I used to do manually. I know what a trial balance is. I know why a balance sheet balances and all that. Today, you don't need to know. No, because the system does all the work. And so given all that stuff, essentially what happens is this, that you have a lot more time to think around how can I support the business? Now, I always say that as an accountant or a CFO, always think like a CEO, act like a CFO. You're responsible for the top line. You're also responsible for the bottom line. You're responsible for the ROIC. Who understands numbers better than you do? In fact, I did sales for 10 years. I can tell you I had 10,000 butterflies when I moved from finance to sales. But after 10 years, I feel that I was very successful, very successful. I made enough number of money. I closed a number of deals, primarily because of the fact that I understand the numbers. Number two is the customers trust me more than anything else. If I go and open up my mouth and say, don't buy this, they won't buy it. As a sales guy, I'm supposed to go and tell them, buy, 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 buy. And I'm so honest that I go tell them, don't buy this stuff instead, or consider this as instead. And so it is important that we add value, we get closer to the business, and only when you realize that you can add value to the organization.
Okay, thank you, Pak Charya. So we are accountants should not go far away from the business. We should know, understand and deeply know what exactly that creating money from the business itself. So if Pak Charya, for example, you are with AirAsia now, so you must know exactly what's the passenger service. You must exactly know the airport things. Yeah, so that's something that you
Honestly,
need.
just to add to one point, like in AirAsia, we know what is route-wise profitability. From here to route-wise, if I go to a Telcom, I know by tower am I making money or not. I also support QSR, which is a Pizza Hut and KFC. We got about 1,600 outlets,
Okay.
and we know by product, by outlet, whether we are making money or not. Is there customer satisfaction in that particular outlet or not? So because the systems are so robust now, that it gives you all the information, but take it, read it, and utilize it for the betterment of the organization, which we can do well.
Yeah, thank you. With technology, we can do better, and we can know exactly into that micro details that used to be very difficult. And we, with our, competencies, with our knowledge as accountant, we can even single out this cost efficiency for item per item. Thank you, Pak Jari. It's always nice to talk with you. And we are running out of time, unfortunately. But I hope that we can meet soon again and then discuss more interesting facts about the today business challenging.
Anytime for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Jari, for the share. So I hope, ladies and gentlemen, participants of today's webinar, you also share the same excitement, same knowledge gathering that we obtained from Pak Jari. Pak Jari, again, thank you very much for your sharing. You have 40 years plus that you can share to us, and then hopefully you are always willing to share your experience and then your thought in Indonesia later on. So I'd like to thank Pak Jari and then also thank CIMA, Pak Dwi Putra and Bu Silviana for facilitating today's webinar. So I'd like to return the floor to Monica. And before that, I'd like to thank you for your questions and participations in today's webinar. Back to you, Monica.
Thank you, Pak Chari and also Pak Edward for your fruitful discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to inform you that participant for this webinar will get 2 CPD certificate. Not only you who are joining us in Zoom, but also you who are joining us via YouTube. How to obtain the 2 CPD certificate is to download the IAI Lounge application from Google Play Store or App Store. You may enter the IAI Lounge application by using your @accountant Indonesia email, or for non-IAI members, you could register with your personal email. Soon as you successfully log in to IAI Lounge, you may click event and then click my event and then select the webinar today. Is IAI and CIMA webinar, Resilient Business Models, Thriving in Uncertainty Through Agile Innovation. And then you have to checking in by scanning the QR code available on IAI Lounge. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to also invite you to join our survey. The link for the survey is on the chat function. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to inform you that the Joint Strategic Leaders Program by IAI and CIMA is available right now. To register to this program, you may email to faizafaisal@iaiglobal.or.id, or you may send us WhatsApp on our WhatsApp official 0811 055 141. We also would like to inform you that IAI have sustainability reporting program. This program is available for you to joining us to understand more about IFRS S1 and S2. The sustainability reporting bootcamp is also available on IAI Lounge. Next. We also have SAK for Executive workshop. It's in Bali, 24 until 25 April 2025. We apologize for the wrong typo error. So we also have SAK Bootcamp that we'll have in Bali on May 2025. All of this program is available on IAI Lounge. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite you to join our survey. If you could please allocate your 1 or 2 minutes to join our survey, will be appreciated. That's the end of our joint webinar between IAI and CIMA. On behalf of IAI and CIMA, would like to thank to our speaker today, Mr. Chari, and also our moderator, Bapak Edward Tanujaya, and also to all of you, our participant who joining us via YouTube and via Zoom. Thank you. We will meet you again on our future event. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Bapak-bapak dan Ibu-ibu sekalian. Sampai jumpa lagi.
Thank you. Thank you, Mbak Dwi.
kasih.
Thank you, Chari. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Edu.
Thank you.
Cari
Thank you,
Elvan.
terima kasih. Salam
Thank
dari
you.
Papua, Pak Edward.
Melalui aplikasi ini, Anda dapat mendaftarkan diri Anda untuk mengikuti berbagai kegiatan training, membaca SAK online, dan juga memonitor kegiatan PPL yang pernah Anda ikuti. Download aplikasi IAI Lounge di App Store atau Google Play Store. Untuk anggota IAI, silakan login menggunakan email @akuntanindonesia. Sedangkan untuk non-anggota, login menggunakan alamat email yang telah Anda daftarkan sebelumnya. Pada halaman home, terdapat berbagai menu untuk dapat dinikmati. Cek section lounge untuk melihat event IAI, SAK online, CAW Network, dan affiliated campus. Untuk cek jadwal pelatihan dan event terkini, klik menu event. Scroll untuk melihat berbagai kegiatan dan event yang dilaksanakan oleh IAI, seperti seminar, pelatihan, serta workshop. Apabila Anda telah melakukan proses pendaftaran dan telah menyelesaikan proses administrasi, silakan cek list event yang akan Anda ikuti pada menu My Event. Selanjutnya, Anda dapat membaca SAK secara online. Klik menu SAK online untuk langsung terhubung dengan aplikasi SAK online. Gratis untuk anggota IAI. Untuk non-anggota, silakan mendaftar untuk berlangganan. Pada menu Home, terdapat juga section keanggotaan untuk mencari informasi terkini tentang keanggotaan IAI dan ASEAN CPA. Nikmati kemudahan mengakses data akuntan profesional pemegang CA, ASEAN CPA, dan akuntan berpraktik. Selanjutnya, pada section KJA, terdapat menu Find KJA untuk mencari kantor jasa akuntan terdekat di sekitar Anda. Terdapat juga menu materi KJA untuk memperkaya pengetahuan dan kompetensi Anda. Section KJA akan memudahkan Anda untuk mendapatkan informasi lengkap dan terkini seputar kantor jasa akuntan. Terakhir, Tepatnya di bagian bawah, terdapat menu berita dan publikasi yang akan mengupdate Anda dengan informasi terkini terkait perkembangan profesi akuntansi, baik nasional maupun internasional. Dan pastinya mengenai SAK Update. Selamat menikmati aplikasi IAI Lounge, available on App Store and Google Play Store. Journey to be a professional accountant is just one click away.
Bapak dan Ibu, terima kasih telah mengikuti jalannya IAI dan CIMA webinar. Kami akan menutup ruangan Zoom meeting ini dalam hitungan ketiga. 1, 2, 3.